We have the Party of Action national spokesperson, Mr. Unshaken Makale, speaking to us live on Zoom. Very good morning to you, Mr. Makale. Thank you for joining us. We had your party president a few days ago, that's Mr. Billy Nyaku, telling us how, as a party, you have taken a stance that vaccination is not the way to go in dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. Are you still of that view, given that we continue to see people dying in their numbers?
Yes, we're still unshaken about the happenings. This is the reason why we still say vaccines cannot assist us in this matter. And as we move on, people are not dying because of COVID as per se. It is based on what other things have been muted, like we have seen now recently that people, when they are tested positive, now they become isolated into a T, whereby no one can visit them into their rooms or into the wards, because those wards are now locked up, whereby only the nurses and doctors can visit them. Now, if we say vaccines are our help. Now, what about the cases that have been reported across the world that about more than 50 people have been killed by the reactions done by the vaccines? And now, as South Africans, are we now saying we are going to accept the vaccines as they come to our world without looking exactly on other means that they have been working since this pandemic landed on our shores, like maintaining what has been said, washing our hands, putting a mask on, social distancing? If that is not enough, and then at the same time we are injecting the vaccine that hasn't proven beyond reasonable doubt that this is the hope that the world can base its safety on. And at the same time, we see reports again now recently that the vaccine laboratories have been banned, the one in India. Now, what South African media need to put out there, or the government need to put in place, is to balance the equation. If only we look on the only one-sided things, whereas the scientific is the one that has been looked at now, and yet they don't know yet what's causing this strands, these waves that are coming up. And yet we say we put our lives, the lives of citizens, onto this and say, no, the scientists have said so. But at the same time, they do not know what causes the upcoming of waves, the second wave, the third wave, and now we're putting our citizens through to the untested vaccines in order to say our people can be saved by this. It's shocking, and we are very sympathetic to those that has passed through the virus based on them being testing positive. When the person tests positive based on the information they receive out there, this is common knowledge, based on the information they receive out there. Now, a person only receives one side of the information. Automatically, your brain tells you that there's only one hope. But now, on the other side, the information that people need to depend on, as Africans, we are religious people. We believe when we pray together jointly, so that help can come. And at the same time, the very same thing religion does to us, it gives us hope that this is not the end of it. There is help that's going to come, which is going to come to your conscience when now you fuel your conscience with hope and you remove or decrease fear. This is where we should be looking at, using the very same medication that's available to us now, instead of focusing on the vaccine.
Right. So from my understanding, if I'm to make sense of your logic, you have a problem with vaccines. You do acknowledge that COVID-19 is there and it's real and it is taking the lives of people.
Yes, COVID-19 is real. Yes, it's very real. But now, where is the logic whereby a scientist is saying he doesn't know what this COVID create this strains or this second waves. And now on the vaccine that has been produced, it's according to them, only can deal with the first wave. Now, the second wave, what's going to happen to it? And then the third wave, what's going to happen to it? Are we still going to increase more vaccines per level of the wave?
Well, if that is the way to vaccinate people, perhaps that is the way to go. I mean, as you have said, scientists that have been tasked in, formulating this vaccine say they had a adequate amount of people that they had in their trial period to make sure that it is safe and that it can actually protect people from COVID-19, not 100%, but it is the best that we have so far, but it is not good enough.
To us as Party of Action, our stance is unchanged, and it will continue until people understand that a vaccine cannot be our last hope. Our hope is within us, whereby your energies need to be reignited. Now, if you lock down people together in terms of their faith-based organization, and then allow people to go to work, and they should have a meeting at work based on the current Disaster Management Act, whereby they follow the protocols. Why can't the faith-based use the same analogy as the previous thing? The disaster management was released last year. Last year, December, because of it allowed people to gather, especially the faith-based. But now they canceled that, and now allow people at work to gather following the protocol. Why can't they do the same?
Mr. Makale, do you have medical scientists in your party that you are working with that are informing you this? Are you speaking from an informed position, or are you speaking from a position of... Yes?
We do have experts that give us this information, but at the moment I'm not at liberty to put it out there who are doing so. Hence, we are still firm, and we will continue to be firm beyond this so-called pandemic.
Mr. Makale does not believe in the vaccination, as he says it could be a danger to the people of South Africa. He is the national spokesperson of Party of Action. Well, he is speaking for the Party of Action. Thank you for speaking to us, Mr. Makale. We continue with the debate of vaccinations. Tell us what you think with